So this video is about the Rhotic W. Now, for all of you linguists and phonologists out there, one of your eyebrows just went up in a very quizzical expression on your face. And you're thinking, there's no such thing as a Rhotic W. This guy's a crackpot. He's probably not even university trained. There's no such thing as Rhotic W. What am I doing here? I need to leave right now. Well, yes, actually, W is the only speech sound that really can be referred to as a rhotic. Well, there's another one, but you've never heard about that one either. You see, This is Wikipedia. You're seeing on the page here the definition of rhotic. It's a term in linguistics which may refer to liquid consonants, such as the backwards R sound in red. Red. Rhotic consonant. Well, they're onto something there. The consonant is W. That's what the rhotic consonant is. And then the next one is R-colored vowel. A vowel that is modified in a way that lowers the third formant, such as the, I don't know what the name of that character is. It's an IPA character. Sound in Midwestern American English pronunciation of fur. That's the So in reality, the letter R refers to the sound. Most of the time, it's just an sound. But when we use it like it's a consonant, that's something different. You can either call it a W-colored or you can call it a rhotic W. And I covered this in my last video about solving the mystery of R. What is R? What speech sound does R represent? Well, it turns out R represents two speech sounds. And one of them is a consonant, but it's not the consonant you thought it was. So we know that's a vowel because it meets all the qualifications, 5 qualifications of a vowel. Generated by the vocal cords, comes out your mouth. It's not combined with any other sounds produced by other mouth parts like hisses, pops, clicks, and whistles. You can sustain it. You can keep the sound going until you run out of breath, and it sounds the same from start to finish and everywhere in between. It's consistent. So, that's a vowel. It meets all the qualifications of a vowel. So you cannot actually pronounce or voice 2 vowels at the same time. You can only do one. So there's no such thing as rhoticizing some other vowel, like turning the into a rhotic That's balderdash. You can put a little bit of an after it, maybe a tiny little bit, but that's a diphthong. That's followed by And we have lots of based diphthongs, or diphthongs where the second vowel consists of an That would be R. Well, that's one of them. Is R. Is air. Is ear. Is I think there's a couple more, but in the International Phonetic Alphabet, they have this little squiggle you see on the screen here. And it's a rhoticity symbol. And it's added to the schwa, it's added to this other character that represent regular vowels, other vowels that And so they're strongly suggesting the idea that you can rhoticize these vowels, and that's balderdash. You can't. There's no such thing. Another term that they have is R-colored. So they're showing the R-colored schwa here that we were just looking at, right? It's like an upside down E with that little squiggle coming out of it. As in letter in General American, letter. It's just and we already proved that that's a vowel. You can't have the schwa is like an Now you can make it creaky, you can make it raspy, but you can't rhoticize it. You can't make it rhotic. That's balderdash because is its own vowel. You can put an after the schwa and make it make it r, but it's never. Letter should actually be pronounced letter because you've got an followed by an Unless you want to call it an E, then it's letier. And there only needs to be one T because, well, the two T's, I guess, are supposed to let you know that the E is short. Something like that. This is all balderdash. On the other hand, W can be made rhotic. The normal W is You're pursing your lips. There's a little opening left, like right in the center. So when you say water, where, wink, wingnut, you're probably not aware of it, but you're humming with your lips pursed for just a brief, like 20th of a second, maybe 1/15th of a second. So you consciously aren't aware of it, but your brain is actually picking up on that. So you're hearing it, and your brain, it's registering in your brain subconsciously, but you're not consciously aware that you're doing that little hum. Ooh. You can actually feel your lips vibrating from the sound. Well, that's the standard W. When you say water, wingnut, that's the standard W sound. But when you're trying to make an function as a consonant at the beginning of a word, or I highlighted some things in my last video. The three words earl, whirl, and rural. I pronounce it rural. I guess the proper pronunciation is rural, in which case you're doing a consonant R followed by a vowel followed by another consonant R. But the consonant R is not actually a consonant R, it's a rhotic W. So instead of going woo like in water, let's look at the word whirl, like whirligig. That's a normal W, followed by the word earl. Earl is just a two-sound word consisting of followed by the dark L, which is ol, earl. That's all there is to it, just two speech sounds. And it's not a rhotic backwards 3. It's not that. It's and that's its own vowel. It's a separate, unique, distinct vowel sound. And because we've spent centuries calling it a consonant, everybody has had their minds warped, and nobody can see the truth of what the consonant form of, when we use it like it's a consonant, what that actually is. Everybody's been blind to the fact that it's a rhotic W. When you say whirl, you just say woo, and you put an earl after it. Whirl, whirl. On the other hand, when you say rural, you may have already noticed, right? Rural, 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 rural. You're actually pushing the out between your pursed lips instead of that ooh sound, or the ooh, water, wingnut. Instead, you have to kind of alter your lip position slightly to get that to come out of there. But and that was the big revelation that came to me. I mentioned it being like a breakthrough in my last video. I finally figured out what the heck is going on and how it is that we're able to make the sound function like a consonant. So in rural, there is no, see that little horseshoe? It looks like a U in the IPA transcription. That is the sound, like in put, shook, nook. It's that vowel sound. It's a pure vowel. You are not saying that. That would be rural. Rural. You're saying rural. 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 So you're going from a rhotic W to an to another rhotic W, and then straight into a dark L, which is ol. So the schwa, there might be a little period of schwa in there, but it doesn't matter. It's a transitional sound. You're going to make that sound regardless. As you go from the rhotic W to the dark L, you're just going to automatically go through. So that might be helpful or important to phonologists, but it's not important to everyday people. You don't need to spell that. That doesn't need to be in the spelling of the word, because it's going to happen automatically. The only letters that you need there are the ones that represent the rhotic W. In the center, in the middle of the word, you have the rhotic W. And then you need that dark L, because that's the target, that's the end target. And if whatever happens in between is automatic, then don't worry about it. You don't need to put a letter, because you could have with IPA transcription, they can turn a single sound into like an entire row of symbols. It's just, it's insane. You can't be spelling words like that. So you just need to put up the general targets. It's like hit this target, then move to the next one, and whatever happens automatically in between, we don't care. So anyway, I wanted to put this video out and be the first one in human history to mention the rhotic W. I don't believe that's ever been mentioned before. I would love for somebody to point out, there's hundreds, thousands of books that have been written on phonology, linguistics, and what have you. So maybe somewhere somebody figured out what's actually happening and how we're making the consonant colored R sound. But I don't think anybody's ever used that term, rhotic W. In my previous video, I said something that is inaccurate. I said that if you're a ventriloquist and you don't want to use your lips to make the rhotic W, but you still want to say the consonant colored R, like rural, you can do it inside your mouth by using the Y approximant. And what I found is that no, that's not actually what happens. Because when I tried doing it, I realized that I'm shaping my tongue somewhat different than how I configure my tongue to make the Y sound, like in yellow, yellow, yonkers, yikes. I'm not using the Y approximant. I'm doing something similar. Rural, 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 rural. It feels like my tongue is curled a little more side to side, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure what it is. I mean, without an MRI scanner and micro cameras or something in my mouth, I don't really know. I just know that it's different. I can feel that it's different. So that would be like another rhotic consonant that is probably as yet undefined, or not part of the International Phonetic Alphabet. Sort of an unknown, maybe. I don't know. But yes, I just wanted to make that correction. And I think that's everything I have to say right now about that. So see you in the next video.